We're at Hawke's Bay on the east coast of New Zealand's North Island, and this is wine and apple country. It's also home to Machina Boats and Rocky. So we're here at the factory and it's nestled in between all these orchards and mountain ranges. There's aluminium, leather and whiskey everywhere in there, and we're going to go in and see if we can track down the owners, Lee and Brooke. I just hope they don't have the leather whips out.
My name is Lee Cummings and I'm the founder of Machina Boats, and we build boutique boats for individuals.
This is our 731 that is destined for New South Wales.
I've heard Port Stephens.
Yes, so
just up the road from me.
First export model.
Amazing.
Which is really exciting for us.
How does it get there? Is it from Auckland on a shipping container?
This one is going to be on its own trailer, so it'll be a roll-on, roll-off scenario from likely Hawke's Bay.
Yep.
And we can get it from there right through to New South Wales. So.
Going to cut a mean line at Port Stephens. There's a lot of game boats around there, so this will look very unique. That's
what we're here for. We are here to be that unique boat, that one that's tailored to the client.
So that was the factory. It's a small, mostly family crew, but they deliver some pretty amazing results, like this Machina 951 behind me. Now, we've just spent the last couple of days on board, and I can assure you it goes as good as it looks. From the outside, it's pretty much the Batmobile. It's got hard lines and a matte black paint job. On the inside, it feels like you're in a classic car with a Mustang-style timber racing steering wheel and leather upholstery everywhere. It mightn't look like it, but this is actually a pontoon boat. Yep, you could have fooled us. The design features 13 buoyancy chambers, 8 of which are above the waterline. The others are foam-filled. The pontoons have been cleverly disguised in the design phase so the boat's aggressive aesthetics aren't affected. In some more design genius, the Machina team has managed to bring tow rails into the cockpit, something I didn't even know was possible on a pontoon boat. Bravo. Now, as you can see, the Machina boats are plumb bows, or axe bows as Lee calls them. They're designed to cut through waves and remove that banging that's often associated with alloy boats. One criticism of these designs is they can throw a lot of water over the boat. Lee's done heaps of R&D on this aspect, which he'll tell you about later. One clever innovation he has included is these twin blades up on the bow. Lee calls them gladius blades, but I'll just stick with blades. Now, these deflect the water down and away, making it super dry. Oh, and did I mention the 951 features an 8mm, yep, you heard that right, 8mm hull. This thick plate removes pretty much all the usual alloy boat acoustics, leaving you with only the noise of the purring twin F300 V6 Yammies. Let's jump on board and check it out.
I'm a huge fan of pontoon boats just because of their safety, their stability and the security of knowing that if you were to get swamped, you'd have something to cling to in worst case scenario. With that, obviously, in most instances comes a bit of a trade-off for the exterior appeal. It's no secret that boats these days are becoming more and more expensive, and I really wanted to give owners the opportunity to put something in their driveway that they liked to look at as much as they liked to use. We designed these with the intention that, and the understanding that they weren't going to be for everybody. But we wanted to have a love or hate design. Yeah, if you loved it, you had to have it, and nothing else was going to, quench that thirst for our boat. Or you can hate it. I don't mind. We're running a pretty traditional stringer and bulkhead system. The hulls are tied all the way up to the floor, and they're fully sealed buoyancy chambers on either side of the fuel tank. We don't have any kill tanks or anything underfloor. We're massive believers in buoyancy everywhere that you can put it. The neat thing about having a combination of or internal pontoons with a mono hull type or plate boat type design is that we still require the same amount of thickness on the hull sides or the top sides as the as a plate boat, but with all the strength welded internally, all the braces that go with it, with the pontoon. And then obviously you've got the internal pontoons as well, and we inject the pontoons with foam as well. So essentially you've got one solid part through the outside of the boat, which gives you your quietness. Obviously we've got the waterline length in a 9.5 metre boat to run that steep rake, but also the length for it to cut through without losing that stability. It obviously quite radically changes over a 1 or 2 metre length section of hull, and it's far enough back that it provides you with your stability but doesn't affect it going into a head sea. One of the things that's unique to us is how much keel tapers away from the chine. It's very deep at the front compared to the rear, and the idea behind that is that when you're at rest, it's displacing that keel at the front, which provides you with your stability. And then when you're underway, the bow lifts up out of the water and clears the chines when running into a chop, and it gives the illusion that the boat's running bow high, but it's not. It's just trying to get up and get the chines out of the water. Yeah, the 951 overall length is just shy of 10 metres and has a beam of 2.85. Draft is a half a metre roughly. Fuel, we've got about 700 litres of fuel and 200 litres of fresh water. It's got a very generous size live well. It's got obviously the cages out the back for a little bit of extra room if you needed it. Very easy boat to walk around the outside of and fish on the front. It's very flat up there. Good size bow rail. Yeah, 951's the biggest that we've built to date. Essentially with this boat, it's pitched at people that either want the biggest trailer boat possible. With that comes obviously a bigger tow vehicle with requirements, but also guys that are storing their boat in a dry stack. This is a model that we believe, as you know, just the size and the volume of the boat, that it's more or less a trailer launch as opposed to a trailer boat. And there's definitely a thirst for it here. That's something that you can still be nimble enough with, that you can get from one end of the country to the other to chase game fish, whatever, boating in the sounds, but you're not tied to one port like you are with the launch. Yeah, we've reached out to a couple of mates, and obviously Aaron, who owns the boat, to jump on board and run us out past the Cape to look in search of a marlin. Trolled around for a couple of hours, and once the roast was ready, we decided to pull pin, have some lunch, and then go search for some fish that were actually available or on the menu, and snuck into a couple of the reefs, and we threw them overboard, and luckily enough one of them just sort of come into focus and gave him a good nice opportunity. I don't think he was down there very long, which was good. Got himself a 13 kilo kingy or something. We didn't obviously weigh it, but it was decent size. Rangi's been known to pick up some stonkers, but that was the one that was the unlucky one for the day.
Aaron Bells, I'm a farmer. Got thrown in the deep end really. Went all out, but well. You get to a stage in your life, you've got to sort of spin the goal before you get old, so just do it once, do it properly and be done with it. So up the front there we've obviously got a bunk for my little fella, which I can fit in there, and I'm nearly 6 foot. We've probably lost a little bit of storage maybe, but mate, we can still probably sleep 5 comfortably with where you're sitting. That goes down to sort of a small double bed. So yeah, got a bit of room, and then obviously you head out the back, we've got the oven, sink, storage underneath, storage under the seats, fridge, and then plenty of deck room for fishing, which was a must, because also we love our fishing, so they do go bloody good. They go good, so they feel safe, That's at the end of the day, They look good and they're safe. Pretty important, and go okay, that's all you want on it. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
So welcome aboard the 951. We've spent the last couple of days on this boat. I think we've got a pretty good handle on it. So I thought I'd run you through our 5 things we love and 5 things we'd change. So number 1, it's got to be the hull. It really does deliver the best of both worlds. The axe bow is awesome in a head sea and surprisingly really good in a following sea. At the same time, you've got these pontoons which create amazing stability at rest and underway. Number 2, it's got to be the cockpit. Check this out, and this is one of my favorite features, double stacked side pockets. I'll probably see better over here. 2 layers, you've got so much room for storage, and the way all of these little bait stations have been incorporated into all of the corners. So each fisher has their own spot, they've got their own tools, they've got their own bait board. Love that. Number 3, and staying in the cockpit, I'm 6'1", and I feel like a midget. This freeboard is 1 meter high, and it's so good for fishing. You feel super safe when you're out here. I love that. Number 4, and I think just the general configuration of this boat is really impressive. Everything flows really nicely. There's nothing that's you're kicking your legs on. It flows through really well, which is kind of surprising considering Lee's only really built, a dozen of these boats. He's got it nailed. All right, number 5, and the attention to detail that goes into these builds is some of the most comprehensive I think I've ever seen from a builder. Just have a look at this, for example. This is one small detail. Now this table and the kitchen over there are actually made from 1,000-year-old ancient matai timber. Now that recently got unearthed from claystone in the Hawke River in Cyclone Gabrielle in 2023. That is epic, 1,000 years old. Now, the 5 things we'd change. And number 1, we're absolutely loving this upholstery. It is amazing, probably some of the nicest we've seen. But this wobbly pedestal seat does not really reflect the quality of the rest of the boat. If this was me, this would be going on a base, proper suspension seat. This boat deserves one. Number 2, and we're staying at the helm here. Now, Lee tells me if you need to stand up to drive your boat, it's not a very good boat, but call me old school. No matter how comfortable the ride of a boat is, I still want to stand up and drive. And this isn't working for me. So there's definitely some refinements needed there, for my opinion. Number 3, and it's a tough one because I really do love the aesthetics of this boat, but those big flat sides really do leave no room for error. If you're taking your buddies out on this thing, bring your fenders because one scratch, it's all over. Number 4, and although I love this cockpit for fishing, when you're underway, there are no grab rails to grab onto, and the rocket launchers up here are even too high to grab onto, so definitely need a few grab rails in here to make it more comfortable for your crew. Number 5, now the big reverse chines and bow blades do an awesome job of deflecting water away from the windscreen and the hardtop, but it still does throw a lot of water around, and the odd wave still ends up plopping into the cockpit, especially with a quartering sea or with a bit of wind on top.
Our customers are all really unique. They want what they want, and the neat thing about our customers, they've had a huge influence on the design as well. Like we've learned along the way that everyone's method on how they're using their boats and what they're doing with them is unique to them, and therefore we like to give them as much input or as little input as they like. Because we are new, we're exciting to them, and they've seen enough to take the chance and that we're going to deliver and give them something quite neat and unique.